Okay, what I'd like to show in this video is just a way of visualizing the metadata, hugely inspired by Cooper Hewitt, and just a reimagining of the item displays within Europeana. And also some functionality here to enable the user to actually fix metadata or make changes or suggestions to metadata. I'll come more to that later. So here you've got a title here, who it's provided by. All of these will be independent links, so the Great War Archive will take your results to those, same as the University of Oxford and United Kingdom as well. Here is the item itself, which is a text in this instance. You can also imagine thumbnails also being on here, and a way to actually maybe enlarge it could be here as well. But what I've done for the time being is I've just implemented it here, Open Document Reader. This is plain English, so the user contributed content is free access and you can download and use this. Rather than giving CC by essay and things of that nature, it should be really easy to understand. And if you can download it, then by all means you should highlight this fact here. Way to return to the results. This here is the description, and then here what you'll see is a big change. In Europeana at the moment we list lots of metadata fields, which is really unfriendly to read. It's not very exciting either. And this is the part which is usually inspired by Cooper Hewitt. What they've done is they've taken the actual metadata and wrapped it into a story. So this is a leaf from United Kingdom. It was created by Ackley RF and is dated. And there's the date. Subject. And then again, you're just duplicating this up here where you can download it. Then you can add tags. Here's some tags which have been added by other people. Suggest improvements to this content, which I'll come to in a minute, and switch to researcher view. So researcher view is more of an advanced view. You can imagine perhaps that is the long metadata list. Perhaps that is the all of the further metadata as well, which is hidden, a way to cite information and things of that nature. There's lots more which could be added into this advanced view, but more research would actually need to be done to find out what is needed for this area. And then you're also interested in, and these are, there's 3 links at the moment. What you can imagine is something like Pinterest, where you have lazy loading, so as you scroll down the screen another 3 will load, another 3, another 3, until after maybe 15 you'll get you'll see the footer, but there should also be an option to actually load more, so you can actually get more information as well if needed. So what I'm going to go to now is I'm going to go to this suggest improvements, just to show you what I think could be a useful enhancement to Europeana. So if you click on suggest improvements, what you can see is these areas which you can actually make changes to have these little rectangles around just to highlight these areas, so you can see that this is a leaf from United Kingdom, sorry. And so for instance, leaf, maybe you could change that to letter. Yeah, you can also see that this Wikipedia link has been added here. So if there was a Wikipedia link for this RF Ackley, then you could add this here and it would be enriched with Wikipedia content. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. So what I'm going to do for the time being is I'm just going to maybe get rid of this one here. Maybe it's not needed. So let's get rid of that. And let's have a look to see what else we can do. We could perhaps provide information on these date formats, just to show what is a useful date format, what is readable, what's understandable. So let's just get rid of that for the time being, and maybe change this to, I don't know, September 2008. There's also this English detected, which we've not talked about. Perhaps this is a way to actually switch the view of this for this block. So for instance, if you have a Wikipedia entry for somebody which is on the .nl version of Wikipedia, then perhaps you could switch it to Dutch and put that entry in here. And so what that will enable users to do, for instance, is if they're looking, if they're viewing the user interface in Dutch, then they would get the Dutch Wikipedia entry rather than the English Wikipedia entry. Also, you could imagine that you could play around with word ordering, for instance. So if this is in Estonian, then this content may be switched around. It would be much easier to tackle blocks like this rather than individual areas. Yeah, you should be able to, as you can see, when you hover over things, you should be able to remove blocks if they're no longer needed or if they're wrong. So I removed that earlier. The same should be perhaps for tags. And also note that this is a recommendation. This has to be approved before it goes live. I think what would be kind of neat though is if you actually make the changes and you then save it, then you see your saved view. And so for people that are perhaps, I don't know, I hate to use the word trollers, but for people who are trolling the site, who perhaps think it would be kind of funny to change all this and make silly comments and things of that nature, they will see their silly comments and to them it will look as though, hey, I've done this, and they'll perhaps move on and find something better to do with their time. But this will be flagged for somebody to review, and so naturally when they see that it's rubbish, they will just discard it. But for the person that's trolling, who's created the content, they'll think, hey, I've done something. I think that's kind of neat. And so what I'll do now is I'll finish suggesting the changes, and then what you'll see is up here you've got the memoirs of R.F. Ackley. Got rid of that one here. This is data enriched by whoever the logged in user is, and so perhaps last enriched by such and such a person. And you can see I've changed this date here. Now, what you could also do is part of the settings. You could perhaps turn off the user enrichment. So, if you just want this factual information, which has been brought in from these archives, galleries, museums, then you will see that. But if you do want to allow enrichment, then you could turn that on, and then you could see what the changes which have been made. I think there should also be a view, perhaps down here, that's been. If something has been changed, then perhaps there's a view original, so you could see what's been changed there. Okay, so this is just a text, but I'm just going to show you another example here. So this is some content which is really enriched. So this is something that's come from the Rijksmuseum in the Netherlands. You can see it's public domain marked, you can download it. This is an image, so it would be really good to show the image resolution available here, a way to view the larger image. If there's a way to download, then obviously you could be able to download here. This is originally in Dutch. And so this is an example of somebody who has set their user interface language to English, and they've also allowed this automatic translation to take effect. There should be a way to revert that naturally, and so that's from here. And again, there's the functions down here, which I'm not going to go into again. But as you can see, this has actually got something from Wikipedia. So it's either pulled in automatically or somebody has added this. So this is Vermeer. And it's got this work is created by Vermeer, gives you a bit of blurb, and then this find more about Vermeer here. When you click on that, then it would go to a search result or a creator page perhaps for this Vermeer. And so this is perhaps there should be some sort of notification say this is enriched by Wikipedia. Just to show you what content would look like that's poor. So this is a really rich content. We've got the image, we've got the description, we've got this good metadata, and we've got a Wikipedia link and all of this. What happens about poor metadata though? This is poor metadata. So all we've got here is a title, a provider. We've got some information, so this is a mountain specimen from Malta. We've got a subject, but we've got nothing else. We've got no description, we've got no image. The suggested content as well, there's nothing that actually has an image, so there's no thumbnails even. If there's no thumbnails, don't show it. You should not really focus on this information. We should be looking to focus on the really, really good quality stuff. And I think what will happen, the knock-on effect, is that these sorts of pages will be the pages that will get the views. These are the pages that we should be highlighting. If people do come across here and there is no way to actually view other content, then there's no reason why this should be a something that we highlight. The hope is that it will eventually get enriched either by Sterna or actually by a user, for instance.